Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We will presentation marketing management about what is the best way position, and the member is Arum Astarina, Alfiolita, and Dialvita Salim.
What is the best way position? Brand positioning. Put simply, brand positioning is the process of positioning your brand in the mind of your customers. Brand positioning is also referred to as a positioning strategy, brand strategy, or a brand positioning statement. The goal is to create a unique impression in the customer's mind so that the customer associates something specific and desirable with your brand that is distinct from the rest of the marketplace. Brand positioning occurs whether or not a company is proactive in developing a position. However, if management takes an intelligent, forward-looking approach, it can positively influence its brand positioning in the eyes of its target customers. Understanding positioning and value proposition. Choosing a competitive frame of reference. The competitive frame of reference defines which other brands a brand competes with and which should thus be the focus of competitive analysis. First, identifying competitors. The market concept of competition reveals a broader set of actual and potential competitors than competition defined in just product category terms. Jeffrey Rapport and Bernard Jaworski suggest profiling a company's direct and indirect competitors by mapping the buyer step in obtaining and using the product. This type of analysis highlights both the opportunities and the challenge a company faces. Second, analysis competitors. Once a company has identified its main competitors and their strategies, it must ask what is each competitor seeking in the marketplace, what drives each competitor's behavior. Many factors shape a competitor's objective, including size, history, current management, and financial situation. If the competitor is a division of a larger company, it's important to know whether the parent company is running it for growth or for profit or milking it. Identifying potential points of difference and points of parity. Points of difference are attributes or benefits that customers strongly associate with a brand, positively evaluate, and believe they could not find to the same extent with a competitive brand. Three criteria determine whether a brand association can truly function as a point of difference. First, desirable to consumer. Consumer must see the brand association as personally relevant to them. Consumer must also be given a compelling reason to believe and an understandable rationale for why the brand can deliver the desired benefit. Second, deliverable by the company. The company must have the internal resources and commitment to feasibly and profitably create and maintain the brand association in the minds of consumers. The product design and marketing offering must support the desired association. Last, differentiating from other competitors. Finally, consumer must see the brand association as distinctive and superior to relevant competitors. Points of parity. Points of parity, on the other hand, are attribute or benefit association that are not necessarily unique to the brand but may in fact be shared with other brands. This type of association comes in three basic forms: category, correlation, and competitive. Category points of parity are attribute or benefit that consumers view as essential to a legitimate and credible offering within a certain product or service category. In other words, they represent necessary but not sufficient conditions for brand choice. Correlation points of parity are potentially negative associations that arise from the existence of positive association for the brand. One challenge for marketers is that many attributes or benefits that make up their POP or POG are inversely related. In other words, if your brand is good at one thing, such as being inexpensive, consumer can see it as also good at something else, like being of the highest quality. Competitive points of parity are associations designed to overcome perceived weakness of the brand in light of competitors' point of difference. One good way to uncover key competitive point of parity is to role-play competitors' positioning and infer their intended points of difference. Competitors' POD will in turn suggest the brand POP.
Choosing specific POPs and PODs. Marketers typically focus on brand benefit in choosing the point of parity and point of difference that make up their brand positioning. Brand attributes generally play more of a supporting role by providing reasons to believe or proof points as to way a brand can credibly claim it offers certain benefits. Consumers are usually more interested in benefit and what exactly they will get from a product. Multiple attributes may support a certain benefit and they may change over time. Means of differentiation. To identify possible means of differentiation, marketers have to match consumers' desire for a benefit with their company ability to deliver it. For example, they can design their distribution channel to make buying the product easier and more rewarding. Perceptual maps. Perceptual maps are visual representation of consumer perception and preference. They provide quantitative picture of market situation and the way consumer view different product, service, and brand along various dimensions. By overlaying consumer preference with brand perception, market can reveal holes or openings that suggest unmet consumers' need and marketing opportunity. Emotional branding. Many marketing experts believe a brand positioning should have both rational and emotional component. In other words, it should contain point of difference and point of parity that appeal to both the head and the heart. Brand mentors. A brand mentors is a 3 to 5 words articulation of the heart and soul of the brand and is closely related to other branding concepts like brand essence and core brand promise. Its purpose is to ensure that all employees within the organization and all external marketing partners understand what the brand is most fundamentally to represent with consumers so they can adjust their action accordingly. Establishing a brand positioning. Number 1. Communicating category membership. There are 3 main ways to convey brand category membership. First, announcing category benefit. Second, comparing to exemplars. Third, relying on the product descriptor. Number 2. Communicating POPs and POCH. Consumers typically want to maximize both the negatively correlated attribute or benefit. Much of the art and science of the marketing consists of dealing with trade-off, and positioning is no different. The best approach clearly is to develop a product or service that performs well in both dimensions. Number 3. Monitoring competition. Positioning requires an organizational commitment. It is not something that is constantly overhauled or changed. At the same time, it is important to regularly research the desirability, deliverability, and differentiability of the brand POPs and POCH in the marketplace to understand how the brand positioning might need to evolve or, in relatively rare cases, be completely replaced. Alternative approach to positioning. Brand narrative and storytelling. Randall Ranger and Michael Caputo see narrative branding as based on deep metaphors that connect to people, memories, association, and story. They identify 5 elements of narrative branding. 1. The brand story in terms of word and metaphor. 2. The consumer's journey or the way consumers engage with the brand over time and touch point where they come into contact with it. 3. The visual language or expression for the brand. 4. The manner in which the narrative is expressed experientially or the brand engages the scenes. 5. the role the brand plays in the life of consumers. Cultural branding. Douglas holds belief that for a company to build iconic leadership brand, they must assemble cultural knowledge strategy according to cultural branding principle and hire and train cultural expert. Positioning and branding for a small business. Here, some specific branding guidelines for small business. Find a compelling product or service performance advantage. Focus on building one or two strong brands based on one or two key associations. Encourage product or service trial in any way possible. Develop choice digital strategy to make brand bigger and better. Create buzz and a loyal brand community. Employ a well-integrated set of brand elements. Leverage as many secondary associations as possible. Creatively conduct low-cost marketing research. And we think it's enough. And that's all of our presentation. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.